What's poppin', gamers? What's up, gamers? Guys, some really crazy things have happened today. Number one, I actually hit 1,000 subscribers last night. Check it out, that shit is incredible. That means alpha gamers, we're 1,000 alpha gamers strong.
Not that I need them, cause war ain't nothing new to me, especially since you're looking at the 10 century key.
And it's not just that, I got 30 subs last night when I was asleep. I mean, that's incredible. So we're 1,040 alpha gamers strong right now as I'm making this video. So guys, if you want to be an alpha gamer, if you want to be a real gameplay legend, an expert, a forward thinker, an innovator in gameplay, raise your gameplay to the next level, change your gameplay, change your life, hit the subscribe button right now. Go hit the subscribe button and you're gonna become an alpha gamer. And you know we're doing big numbers. You know we're looking strong out here. Hell yeah, homies. And guys, guess what? So yesterday, I made a video about crystals being removed from the Link to Pass leaderboards because I thought the methods that they used to remove crystal were highly suspect, were highly questionable, nonsensical methods, and there were actually good reasons, like there's good reasons to remove her from the leaderboards. I'm glad the leaderboards don't have crystal on it. I think it's good, I think it's good for the Link to Pass community to recognize that crystal's runs are unverifiable, highly suspicious, and shouldn't be directly competed with. That's what I think, right? So her runs shouldn't be on the leaderboard. The problem is the community just voted them off. They didn't actually come to any conclusions. They didn't actually agree on anything. They barely did anything at all, and so they just voted her runs off, which is kind of a problem because it doesn't recognize that her runs are highly dubious, highly questionable, completely unverifiable. I mean, she cheated in 2DX. She was threatening to dox people. Like her runs are dubious. Like they shouldn't be on the leaderboards, but they weren't recognized as such. They were just voted off for some arbitrary, ambiguous reason by a closed poll. Like it's just crazy. It's nonsense. It's insulting to Link to Pass. It's insulting to leaderboards. It's insulting to anybody that actually submits their times there, because people who submit their times there, they go balls out, and if you know you need real reasons to kick people off a leaderboard. Now, at the end of that video, I actually mentioned how the Link to Pass clicks and these clicks in speedrunning and what you see in Twin Galaxies with Billy Mitchell and Todd Rogers, this is a much greater problem, and I think this is the real problem because there's always going to be cheaters and they're always going to lie and try to cheat and break the rules. So there's not a whole lot you can do about the cheaters themselves. Like they're not just going to magically disappear. And as speedrunning gets bigger and people like me become even bigger and huger and more dominant, people are going to try to cheat my records as they have in the past. So what happens is, I think it's much more important to fix the clicks and make speedrunning a much healthier community so that you don't get Twin Galaxies 20, 30 years later. And there's these big problems in, I would say like most of the major speedrun communities. Like they're pretty much ran by clicks. They're not ran by like real people that play the game and care about the game. And you see this in Link to Pass like really badly, but it's actually in Super Mario 64 too, and a lot of this click stuff, you can't really see it on the surface because they go to extreme efforts to make the game not successful and to cover up and hide a lot of stuff. So, and they get a lot of people who are either gullible or they're just kind of upset or angry, and they just randomly agree with them, or they find somebody to pick on and then they just attack that person and claim they're crazy and discredit their opinions, their ideas. And so they go to a lot of efforts to, and this is what they did in Twin Galaxies, like it's identical. So on the Super Mario 64 leaderboard, there's actually a guy who had cheated Super Mario 64 like world records. He was actually a moderator on the leaderboards, and this is like a known thing. It's been there for a while. The thing is, he had changed his name, and I've heard that the SM64 people have gone to efforts to cover this up and hide it, which I would agree with or completely believe, because that's exactly what the Link to Pass click does. So he was actually a moderator on the SM64 leaderboards, which is like, it's just stupid. It's stupid, it's ludicrous, it's insane. Like if you cheat in a game for a while over a long period of time, it's malicious. Like you shouldn't be excused for that, and then not only excused for that, but like honored. Like just you're allowed to moderate the leaderboards. Like that seems exactly the problem that I was trying to expose in Link to Pass. Like it's exactly the problem, and it's exactly the problem in Twin Galaxies, and it creates this chain, and it stems from this click problem. Well, this is hilarious. I go to the leaderboards today because I started tweeting about it, and the SM64 click boys, they're like raging right now. So because he got removed. This guy, his name's ATM Pass. I think his old name is Aki Khan. He's splicing 16-star world records. He actually got removed as a moderator. Literally have an actual splicer as a moderator. And so I started tweeting about it on Twitter, gloating about it, how my victories against cheaters and splicers and these clicks. And a lot of his click friends and his click boys started like raging at me and like aggressively defending him, be like, no, it's fine. We need cheating. We love cheaters. We need them as moderators. So I wake up this morning and Aki Khan is not a moderator on Speedrun.com, and I'm like, what is it? Did they seriously watch my video? Like, somebody must have watched. I put that at the end of a 35-minute video. It's like a 30-second clip at the end of a 35-minute video. It just, you know, snuck it in there. Somebody must have watched that and then talked about it. Like, something happened, because that's one day. I'm like, well, do I really have that much influence and that much power? Am I really that decisive and alpha gamer? Like, is that really what's going on? Because I've noticed every single time I say or suggest something, a major problem in these speedrunning community, every single time it actually comes true. Eventually, it just takes a while, and usually it's just me bringing it to attention, which I actually noticed is a similar trend to Apollo Legend. When Apollo Legend went super public about the corruption behind Twin Galaxies, immediately Twin Galaxies bends. Immediately, 48 hours, right? Same deal here. I say, hey, why is this splicer on SM64 leaderboards? Immediately something changes. Why is 2x speed on Linked Path leaderboards? Took a few months for that one. Why is Crystal on the leaderboards? Took about a month for that one. Every single time it changes though. So these clicks, they're really sneaky, really sketchy, and they're falling apart. These guys are afraid as hell. I can sense that. So now I actually talked to one of the SM64 guys, and he said to me that the guy Aki Khan actually demodded himself from the leaderboard. But I thought this was funny because it's the same thing that happened when Zelna demodded himself. Now, I know very little about the SM64 community, like very little about them, but I know a lot about the Linked Path community, and I can almost guarantee you that this shit mirrors itself. And when Zelna demodded himself from the Linked Path leaderboards, I was like, this is stupid, because it's fake. This is a fake cover-up for the corruption in the community. Zelna put downtime death times back on it, like 3 months after he was confirmed of cheating. Dante just put his times back on it for some nonsense reason, and then there's a big debate about it, a big argument about it, and then he stepped down. Zelna stepped down, right? But it's like nobody in the community who moderates it, none of the other moderators actually thought that was a problem. Like, none of them thought that's an issue, that's a problem, that's something that needs to be fixed. Like, I don't understand. Did that just go by without an issue? It's the same thing in this SM64 problem, where it's like, did none of them think this is an issue? Like, none of them think this is a problem? And I had one guy on my Twitter, no idea who this guy is, I've never heard of him in my life, but he actually said that Aki Khan is fine. It was 7 years ago. He was 12 years old. Who even cares, Lamau? That's what he said to me, and I'm like, well, I care. I care about speedrunning. I care about leaderboards and integrity. And he flat out cheated. Like, he just straight up made fake runs. Like, yeah, I think that would qualify you to not be a moderator. And it's like, this is one thing I think is really ludicrous and just stupid. The whole, it's just the game, guys. It's just the game. Like, we need to have a talk about this, and we're going to in the future, because this argument needs to end. But another thing this guy said was actually how Aki Khan has done a significant amount of stuff since then to prove his genuinity, prove his character, he's done a ton for the community, like a lot of tasks and stuff for strat finding for the community. So he's fine, right? He's changed. You know what? Truthfully, he was 7 years ago. He was 12 years old. Now, I don't actually believe he's 12 years old, but maybe he was. And here's the problem. This is what I really don't understand. Why does Aki Khan need to be a moderator of the SM64 leaderboards? There's already 10 other moderators. And why exactly does he need to be a moderator? Like, that's what I don't understand. No matter how much he's proved himself as a person or his character, he flat out 100% cheated, and there's no need to be a moderator. Like, if he genuinely cares about Super Mario 64, if he genuinely cares about the game and the leaderboards, that's fine, right? He just continue to play the game, continue to task and look for new strats and do ILs. Like, that's fine, that's not a problem. Why does he need to be a moderator? And do you guys know what Speedrun.com moderators actually do? They literally just click verify times. Like, most of these people don't watch the times, they just click verify, okay, it was good. Dude submits a 3-hour run, whatever, I'm just gonna click verify. This is all they do. Also, what they do is they sit on a position of authority and they sit on their chair, and people who have no idea what's going on, which is most people in speedrunning. There's a lot of people who go to these speedrun leaderboards and have no clue what's going on, and they look up to these moderators, right? Because they're designated as moderators, and that's the big problem I'm seeing here. Why you don't want people to look up to some guy who used to splice runs? Like, it's just absurd. It's Looney Tunes, especially when it's this like gigantic click and it's a popularity contest. Like, this is not, has nothing to do with the game. The truth about Speedrun.com moderators, if somebody's a moderator on Speedrun.com, I flat out, I know for one they don't speedrun the game very often, and then also I know that they are probably a part of the click. And I'm guessing not 100% of them, but go to any major leaderboard and it's like 70–80% of these people. Well, I wonder how they got moderator status. I wonder why. It's because they don't run the game and they're part of a friend group, part of a popularity pool. This is generally how I see moderators on Speedrun.com. And I know for a fact the ALTTP moderators actually don't do anything other than click verify in times, because they made this insane rule where only the runner who submits a time for the game is allowed to go up. Like, if somebody else submits a time for any game, it has to be the runner, and they refuse to add times unless the runner submits the time. So the ALTTP leaderboards, it's hardly a leaderboard. They literally do no work except verify times, and they don't even watch the runs. They just click verify. So 100% of the Speedrun.com moderators for ALTTP, I can guarantee you, do no work, and most of those guys don't play the game. So it's entirely status. And again, that's kind of the problem. It's like half of the Link to Past moderators, like, they're best friends with the guy who was cheating for a year. Like, this is like a huge problem, like a huge disgrace to speedrunning, to the leaderboards, to the game. Like, it's insane. So anyway, what do you guys think about people who cheat, and then should they be allowed to moderate leaderboards? Should they be allowed to be moderators of leaderboards? And then do you think it's okay or justifiable for people to defend them as moderators of the leaderboard? Do they at all have the right to be a moderator? For me, it's pretty cut and dry. Like, no, get these clowns out of here. They were literally cheated. If somebody who cheated wants to be a part of the community, wants to stay in the community, wants to still speedrun, there's nobody anything can do about that, right? There's nothing I can do to make sure some guy doesn't play a game, right? Even if he's a horrible person and he cheats and he's got this gigantic click to back him up, I still can't do anything, right? But in any sense, like any sensible community, why would you have an actual splicer as a moderator? Like, it's just nonsense. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. Go over and hit the subscribe button, and once you do that, you become an alpha gamer.